Now here are more examples where we multiply decimals. So looking at example E. So we have 2.5 times 0.5. Now where the digit 5 is, that is in the 1/10th place value. Okay, similarly, where the digit 5 is, that is at the 1/10th place value. So that literally means, for the first number, that literally means 25 times of 1/10 multiplied to 5 times of 1/10. Of course, that then becomes 25 times of 0.1 times 5 times of 0.1. And we can bring the whole numbers together. That's 25 times 5. And then we put the decimals together. 0.1 times 0.1. Now, as we discussed earlier, we can just simply multiply 25 with 5, and that gives us 125. And that is what you get when you multiply 25 as a whole number and 5 as a whole number. Now, the multiplying 0.1 to 0.1 simply gives us a number with a digit 1 and 2 decimal places. So that gives us 0.01. So when you put it all together, that's 125 units of 0.01. So that's starting from the second decimal place. We have 5. We have 2.1. So 1.25, and the answer has 2 decimal places. And that matches up with the fact that the two numbers multiplied together have a total of 2 decimal places. Let's take a look at the next one. 2.5 times 0.04. That's F. Now, again, with the 2.5, that is 25 units of 0.1. That's 25 units of 0.1 times, in this case, 4 units of 0.01. So that's 4 units of 0.01. So again, we put our two whole numbers together. That is 25 times 4. And then we put our decimal numbers together. That's 0.1 times 0.01. Now 25 times 4 gives us 100. And that's multiplied to, now 0.1 is 1/10. 1/10 of 100 gives us 0.001, which is 1 over 1,000. So when we multiply 100 to 0.001, that's 100 units of 0.001. So that gives us 0.100. And you notice here in this case, the answer has 3 decimal places, which matches up with our numbers 2.5 having 1 decimal place and 0.04 having 2 decimal places, which amounts to a total of 3 decimal places. And finally, the last one, we have 0.25 times 0.5. Now again, if we take a look at this, this has a place the digit 2 has a place value of 0.1, whereas the digit 5 has a place value of 0.01. So that means we have a 0.25 is actually 25 units of 0.01. And that's multiplied to 5 units of 0.1. Again, we're going to put our whole numbers together, 25 times 5. And that gives us, and of course, we're going to combine the two. We're going to multiply those two decimal numbers together, 0.01 times 0.1. And so we have 125 times of 0. In this case, there are 3 decimal places, so 0.001. And we end up with 0.125. Now again, this matches up. The final answer has 3 decimal places. This matches up with us having 2 decimal places in one number and 1 decimal place in the other number. So the number of decimal places match. Now, as a final look, to take a final look at this, it matches up with the way we look at fractions too. So 0.5 is actually half. So let's taking a look at example E. 0.5 is half. So you can see that half of 2.5 gives us 1.25. Okay, and taking a look at question F. Now that's they're talking about a number that is 2.5 times larger than 0.04. Now 2.5 times, that's like 2.5 times larger than 0.04. So that's literally the same as saying, hey, look, I've got 0.04. There's one of them. And a second one of them is 0.04. And half of 0.04 is 0.02. Now, if you add these numbers together, you get 0.10. All right, and 0.10 is literally the same as 0.100. All right, the extra 0 is just not written. And over here, for G, we have 0.25. Now 0.25, you can see, is actually a quarter. Okay, so that's a quarter. And 0.5 is half. So if you take a look, what is half of a quarter? Half of a quarter is 1/8. So that is 1/8. And if you divide 1 by 8, 1 divided by 8, okay, you can see in this case, I can't, there are no 8s that can go into 1. So I can change 1 whole into 10 1/10s. And ask myself, how many 8s go into 10? That's 1. And that gives me a remainder of 2. It is then combined with another 0 that I can put in behind. So I have, in this case, 20 100ths. So how many 8s go into 20 100ths? I can go with 2 of them. 2 times 8 gives me 60. And so I'm left with 4 remainder, which I put, which I combine with a 0 behind. So that is 40 1,000s. Okay, and so I ask myself, how many 8s go into 40? That's 5. So therefore, the answer is 0.125.